Hey guys, welcome back to Trekyards. I'm Captain Foley,
I'm Connicons.
and today we're continuing our look at the Discovery trailer breakdown, all the stuff from San Diego Comic-Con that came out, and today we're talking about not necessarily a thing, but a person.
A famous
We're talking
person.
about, yes,
Sort of.
Hardcore Fenton Mudd, otherwise known as Harry Mudd.
Yes.
He was in the new trailer, and I gotta say, I'm underwhelmed so far.
Your energy is just like... Okay, first of all, did you like Mudd from the original series? Is he the character you'd have brought back? What's the backstory there?
I loved him. I love to hate him. I mean, he's very roguish, but he's very likable at the same time, much like myself. He can be a complete asshole, but you still love the guy because he's friendly and nice. So I love that he was in 2 episodes of TOS. You really kind of got to know him, and from what I've seen of the new trailer, I mean, it's only like 1 line of dialogue, I think, but
I'm not mad, I'm Mudd.
oh, and he said something about, and now we wait, or the countdown. I don't
And I'll
remember.
blow up, yeah.
Yeah. So it just doesn't have the same panache and zest for me seeing those scenes. Now, it could be that it's just a trailer and those are just bad scenes to pull out of it. I don't know what his rendition of Harry Mudd's going to be like, but so far I'm not impressed. That's all I'm saying.
Okay, well, it's not, because there's more videos to talk about. But yeah, I like Mudd for the original show. For a show that has very little continuity, to actually bring him back, I mean, that's a huge thing for that sort of show. That it was like, continuity so much. So, must have left an impression. Yeah, flamboyant, yet fun. I mean, we've got pictures here, you know, his classic look.
Yep.
Big belt buckle, that makes no sense. The hat, the moustache, I mean, you know.
He was supposed to be like a pirate.
Yeah, a space pirate that sells women, but not really, but sort of, and then has robots. Actually, 2 quite good episodes, actually, considering. And then, yeah, Mudd... Now, I was confused / I don't know what to think when it was announced he'd be in the show, because for a dark show that, you know, is a different part of the era, I'm like, why would you bring Mudd in? I'd rather see Kang and Koloth done properly with hair than Mudd. I mean, okay, if it was a every episode sort of show, bring Mudd in twice. Yeah, give him a 2-parter, brilliant little wonderful adventure with Mudd. But his rendition in this was like a dark baddie. He was never a dark baddie.
Yeah, no, he was just a nuisance maker.
Yeah, he was like Han Solo, but with a bit more dickishness
And illegalness, yeah.
and fat.
And come on, guys,
He's not fat,
you didn't get the mustache right. You need the twirly, waxy, like used car salesman kind of slick.
Obviously,
mustache.
this is Mudd from, I guess, 15 years before he meets Kirk.
True.
When he's, you know, not as much weight, not as much whatever. He's still got, you know, more hair. I mean, I think, you know, he could then shave it off and be, you know, he's, you know, at the end of the Wolverine, you know, shave off a bit of his hair, becomes classic. I mean, that's fine. He evolves into other Mudd. But look, in terms of look, this is not Mudd. Doesn't look like Mudd in any way. I mean, doesn't even have rings in any of the episodes. I mean, he doesn't look like Mudd in any way, personally. You could have him be any character, literally any character, well, apart from women, but if you want to have a shapeshifter. I mean, I like the actor. I've seen a couple of Offices, actually, less than I'd like to. I've seen him in, I've liked him in everything I've seen him in.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I don't know.
I don't know what to say about this because he's, again, we don't know what his role is in this. We don't know, and we just got this small little snippet. I need to see more to really get a feel for if he embodies the character well. From what I've seen here, I don't think he does. But that's just my opinion, I guess.
Well, as we say, little things, you know, they built this trailer very specifically, very constructedly. These are the shots they've shown to be the first shots of Mudd. They mean something. They've shown something. They are not there randomly, and it sets him up as a bit of a baddie, a bit more menacing. You know, being part of something worse.
Well, I can see it too. Him bluffing, trying to be all mean, and then they kind of call his bluff, and he's like, "Oh, I wasn't really doing anything anyway."
Right.
More back to the scallywag kind of funny guy that's, you know.
Sure.
Yeah, I could totally buy that as his first interaction with the captain of the Discovery. Let's say, going, you know, I'm a bad guy. I'm going to do this. And the Discovery captain's like, you're full of shit. I'm calling your bluff.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, but I've been trained as a captain. And then, yeah, they build a friendship. I don't know. But just a bad thing to put in a trailer, in my opinion.
Well, again, they're trying to give us a sense of the first episode, like that dark, battle-y, destruction-y thing. You can't have light-hearted Mud in the middle of that from episode, and this is not episode 1 or 2, this is probably episode 3 or 4, 5, 6, whatever. You know, this is later stuff. If you was, like, it's not like Thor Ragnarok or those funny trailers where you can just throw in fun quips and fun light. There's nothing of that in this. So you want to release Mud, you want to show some cool things, those normal people out there. But it's interesting because no one outside of the really hardcore fan base even knows who Mud is.
Yeah.
Like, no one in the JoJoverse, I mean, they wouldn't have registered the Mud ship as being a thing beyond just a one-off, because why would it be? You know, people that just know Voyager and TNG won't know the name Mud, because he's only in 2 only, but, you know, he's only a TOS fanboy, you're going to know him properly, like, properly, and then Trek fans would hopefully know him, but you shouldn't guarantee that. You know, some people like TOS the least, they might not even watch every episode, you know. But then, just decided that, where is he? Where is he?
That's hard to say. It could be anywhere. I mean, we got the blue kind of Alakarzi look, so it could be, you know, the Shinzao or the Discovery. We don't really know per se. It looks like there's like blast shutters or something maybe closed.
Yes.
Or they're at red alert right now, or something's going on. It's hard to say. It's just such speculation at this point because we haven't seen that much. But
I think this is his ship, maybe, because he's standing next to some railing with instruments. You can see there's a ladder thing you can jump up and walk up. The blast shields, I feel like that's either the bridge front dome thing or something, no, or it's a auxiliary control of another part of a ship which he's in taking control of. Maybe he's trying to steal some other ship, you know, the Europa before it gets blown up. You know, but it's just interesting characterization to have him be so different. Now, you know, obviously these stories, same with the Spock's dad and stuff, these events, if this is really prime, this is the stuff that makes the men who they are later on, you know. So maybe these events of this dark show will make him into a light-hearted, funny character that was more sinister in his first appearance and then much lighter in the second appearance because they liked him in lighter.
It's a possibility. One of the other episodes or videos we've done on a snippet from this trailer is the captain of the Discovery, who we're talking to somebody behind a force field. We made that point a few times. It could be that's Harry Mudd in the brig in one of those scenes as well that he's talking to. So maybe, Harry's plan goes wrong, gets thrown in the brig, and ends up being able to help them out in some way, save the ship or whatever. Gets a pardon, gets sent on his way, promise not to do anything else. We'll never see him again. It's fine.
That was still that. So how would you want the Mud character to be seen? Because it's, again, quite a distinct character to see. I mean, you're picking the light-hearted comic relief of 2 episodes, who has some smugly stuff behind him. You know, you shouldn't change that character because that is the character.
Yeah. That
is who the man is. How would you utilize him? Do you think? What makes the most sense for you? If you had sort of something, you know, if you had to say.
Well, I've basically laid it all out. I'd have him initially show up and be like, I'm going to destroy your ship, Captain, or something. Be sinister and evil, and the captain calls his bluff, and, you know, it turns out he's just trying to, you know, trick them. Obviously, he's given false names before to get away. So, and then ends up, you know, thrown in the brig, and ends up having something or knowing something that can save the day and get them out of a tough predicament. So that's kind of how I would use him. I mean, that's kind of the character for me. That's just the way he works, and I think that would work very well if it was done properly. I don't want him to be somebody that's, you know, evil and conniving and manipulative. That's evil. I mean, you can be conniving and manipulative, which he is, and be still a nice, genuine, you know, nice guy that you'd want to hang out with. And Kirk sees that in him, and you know, smiles. Harry, like, I'm glad to see you again, but you're not pulling the wool over my eyes, kind of thing.
So maybe he's more of a, you know, Quark character in a sense. You know,
yes.
he's looking for the deal. He's looking for whatever. Yeah. He's not bad, but he can make some really bad choices when things go wrong. I mean, hey, if a deal goes right, no one gets hurt unless it's weapons. deal goes right, you know. Yeah, I think I would use him in sort of a similar way, but, you know, it depends. If you introduce him as someone everyone should know, it's like Khan. Everyone actually knew Khan, except the people didn't know Star Trek. So everyone who's a Trek audience fan member with this badly kept secret is like,
Yeah.
I'm Khan. And we're all like, oh, yeah, okay, we knew that already. And everyone else is like, who's that? Give us some backstory and context and show us his Indian heritage. So this character, you can't, you know, the same thing. How do you use that? But as a, I mean, you've got the Klingon Federation butting heads arc, and hopefully we have, you know, the Klingon Empire, then these renegade ancient Klingons. So you've got these other factions within the factions. We have this tertiary character, this Mud character, who is the rebel who can go between sides, or, well, I'm sure Klingons don't like him very much, but he can be the smuggler that Starfleet needs, you know, that interesting in between step. He can be the licensed trader that can go to Kronos, you know, or whatever. He can be that bridge. And why invent a smuggler? Why not use Harry Mudd? He smuggled stuff, you know, maybe when he was younger he was more into the dangerous stuff, because he didn't say it wasn't as dangerous stuff later on. So I can sort of see that side of it. But yeah, not villainous. I mean, having him as a villain is a mistake, I think. Annoying, that's good.
Yeah, an annoyance is good. Yeah, absolutely.
But obviously, I don't think I want slapstick humour or ridiculous. I mean, that whole, you know, against the robots, he's dead. I mean, they're not going to have that in the show ever. I don't think it's that sort of you know, tonally, this show isn't... Orville, sure, every week. This show, not so much. That's, you know, 60s versus now.
That being said, I don't want the show to be all, like, stern-faced and da-da-da, war, serious. No, you can't have that. You have to have those breakups where it's, you know,
well,
a lighthearted episode every once in a while.
One of the many reasons Marvel's beating DC is because they have the beautiful blend of action versus comedy versus characters. DC has a very minimal blend of the three and did it poorly for all their films pretty much at this point. But Wonder Woman had some great comedy. Sort of like the characters more, because funny moments. So, you know. So Mud. Doesn't look like Mud, doesn't sound like Mud, but that's Mud. Let's see. Yes. I like the actor. He's got some good chops behind him. And he's definitely a good character actor. So
yeah, and I think if used properly, yeah, he can break up the seriousness of the show, give it a lighthearted feel. And fun, and you know, I think if he's used properly, and I hope he is. That's all.
Yeah, and you know, the big announcement of the show using canon checkers to make sure it's all real. Hopefully, there's people also keeping consistency.
Hire the Okudas. It's pretty simple.
Hire the Trekyards is even simpler. We'll charge less. No. Hopefully, they know what a character was and how to use them and things. We'll see.
Yeah. But anyway, guys, hope you like this video. Hope you like Mud. If you do, let us know in the comments below. And don't forget to subscribe for more Trekyards and Discovery goodness, because there's a lot of stuff coming from Discovery that we're going to be breaking down and examining.
Yes.
And thank you guys for tuning in to watch those. So until next time, guys, I'm Captain Foley.
I am Commander Cockens.
And we'll see you guys soon.
Bye, guys.
Bye.